Okay, hello and good day to everyone. That is once again tuning in to the Sphere Rocket Podcast Network. Once again, I'm going to be the host for today's episode. My name is Dwayne, and right now, boy, we got a treat for you guys who's going to be listening in because right now, our guest is a real estate rock star, I would say. He's the founder and CEO basically of 626 Real Estate and recently named one of California's top 10 agents by Apple News. This guy is a legend, not just in closing deals, but also in giving back. He's led campaigns like On a Mission to help 100 homeless and 626 Emergency Preparedness. He's fluent in 8 languages. I barely speak 3. So that's really impressive and uses cutting edge tech like AI and VR and has navigated 3 market downturns since 2001 with titles like number one top producer in San Marino, RE/MAX Hall of Famer, and Lifetime Achievement Award recipient. He is a powerhouse. He's all about learning, sharing insights, and helping other people succeed. So today, he's here to show how to work smart, not hard, focusing on your strength. Sociable, tenacious, resourceful, enthusiastic, nurturing, generous, teachable, and honorable. So get ready for some serious wisdom and grab a pen and paper because you do not want to miss any of this. So we got Watson. How are you doing today?
Hey, Dwayne. So good to be with you. So honored to be on the platform with Spear Rocket. Spear Rocket is an amazing company, and I'm so blessed to be able to get to know you guys about 2 years ago. And you've done so much thing for the community, for real estate business. Thank you again for allowing me to be here.
It's an honor as well to have you as one of our esteemed clients. I mean, you're pretty much a legend, I would say. How long have you been in the real estate world again?
Well, let's just say too long. Yeah.
I guess the background that you have speaks on how much or how skilled your experience is in the real estate world. Those are a lot of trophies and certificates behind you. Like, that definitely speaks for you.
Well, thank you, Dwayne. I actually got into real estate in 2001. The same year, we had the most shocking news in the whole world, 911, and everybody said the market was going to collapse.
That's not the easiest way to start in real estate.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't.
You must have that. How? Okay, so that being said, okay, before we got into that, just a quick question for you. What do you think is the best comfort food for your family that you can eat for like 10 years, 20 years without getting sick and tired of it?
Oh, comfort food. Boy, there's so many different comfort food. I want to say depend what time or what I'm hungry for. I've been here in America for 22 years. Some of the comfort food still when you grow up, like I come from Malaysia. So some of the favorite thing from Malaysia would be my comfort food, like nice bowl of curry noodles, or sometimes would be fried kway teow, which is like fried noodles. Those are always the comfort food.
You guys in Malaysia have really good curry-based dishes. I'm not sure if laksa is from Malaysia, but
it is. Yeah.
Is it?
Well, yeah.
That's one of my favorite. It's like coconut and curry. Wow. I'm really craving for one right now. And I guess I can relate to what you said. The best food that you want are the food that you had growing up. It brings back the memories and the nostalgia. And yeah, amazing food. So going back again, you've entered real estate in a really interesting and complicated time at 2001. So what got into you? Like, normally people will tell you don't go into real estate now because everything is pretty much down. So how did you get into it?
Well, actually, it's a long story. I'll try to make it short. I came to America in 1982. That's how old I am, to go to college, study engineering. And my job was to get a corporate job. But somehow I thought maybe along the way, I pick up more business classes and decided that I should get into business. To start a business in US is very challenging. It's very difficult. Unlike many, like in China or even in the Philippines or Malaysia, there's a lot of opportunity. After bumping into different things, just didn't quite work out. So I got into real estate. You don't aspire coming to go to college trying to be a realtor. Most people don't. Most people go into realtor because they've gone through some changes, lost a job, or unless your parent or someone mentor you, most people just not aspire to be a realtor, to be honest with you.
Yes, that's true. I mean, people would normally say, dream job to be a pilot, a doctor, a lawyer, an engineer, an architect. I guess kids wouldn't say real estate agent from the get-go, but yeah.
So true. That's so true, Dwayne.
Yes. So, what got into you to got into real estate again?
Yeah, actually, my mom passed away in the year 2000, and mom not really say that whatever you do, you're gonna do something that is make the best use of your skill. I know I have a few skill and I wasn't using properly, so I thought real estate. I love people. That should be the best way to get into, and decided to go into real estate, and never look back ever since. It's most fulfilling, most best fit me, I should say. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you've been doing something for 24 years, you must love the job. It's not just you're not just doing it for the money at that point, because you must have that kind of passion, which is quite funny because earlier on you wanted to have a comfortable job. I heard that correctly, but real estate is not that. I guess it's not really comfortable at all because
Mm.
especially you need to grind for your to grind for success. You need to go out every day. You don't do the same thing every day. You need to do something different every day in order to make it. So, what got you staying in real estate?
Well, actually, this is what happened. I got a bunch of friends at church. One of my good friends is a deputy district attorney. I got into real estate. Most people starting with something like taking buyer around. Somehow he said, "Watson, I know you. I'm gonna refer a good friend to you, and you will do extra. You will do more for this lady. This lady just happened to gone through a divorce. It was a tough time. Her parent bought a home, and parent had moved away and left him with a home with a lot of memory. And what I did was, as a realtor, I thought, yeah, I'm willing to go do a lot more. I don't recommend that to all you new realtor. I would cut her tree, clean the backyard, and get everything done. And from that point, this lady was so touched. She said, "Watson, you are the kind of realtor. If you have a restaurant, you will serve food on the best china you have. And when I'm done eating, you will say, go and keep the plate too." And that has been my model. Another client said, "You are the kind, if you have a hotel, you will have the best linen, best pillow, and best comforter. When your guests check out, you would just say, go and keep those sheets and those pillows, take it home with you so they can keep it for the rest, not just during the stay." That's what the model I built my real estate business to become one of the top 10 agent in California is through the trademark, through the thing that I do, most people don't do. You don't go to a restaurant and walk out away with a plate, or you don't come up from a restaurant, have a nice pillow, $100 pillow to go with you. That's what I felt like we consistently try to do that for our client.
That's kind of that's a good business mindset. Being top in the top 10 agents of California. Gosh, I can only I guess it's definitely more than 1,000, maybe tens of thousand agents within California. I don't know. Real estate is huge in California. It's one of the more populated, I guess, regions in the United States. So you must have done something out of the ordinary. You need to do something out of the ordinary to make sure that you make it in the list. And that being said, what do you think are if you have any special things that you've done differently from the other agents that got you into where you are right now?
Well, Dwayne, this is what happened. Not too long ago, I got a call, an email. It just contacted me, said, "Watson, we are putting together 10 of the top agents in California. Now we have 220 plus thousand. There are 1.5 million realtor in America. So out of those, about 220 some thousand, I got picked up for the top 10. And they did the research. They see the thing that I do is different from everybody else. They don't want to find average Joe Blow or somebody who has a fancy car or somebody appear in the newspaper and people know about it. They want to see something that's different. Just recently, I've been selling home for like such a good price. People got attention. And also some of the things I do. For example, I just sold a condo for $500,000. $500,000 might sound like a lot of money to most of you in America, but here it's like you can't find anything for 500,000. I saw this condo. It's a good friend of mine, also a past client. They not only do the condo, I make a nice video introducing the community, talk about the lifestyle, talk about if you move in there, you feel like you're on vacation, all the good feature. And we got multiple offers on the property. And we have a lot of cash buyer too. They'll pay cash. Most people will have at least 20%. A lot of them have 50%, and a good chunk of them have cash. And most realtors would just love to sell to a cash buyer, easy, close in 1 week or 3 days, and not much to do. But this one young couple came through. They were just nice, hard workers, save up. I mean, they work very hard, but they could not save up any money, so they come down with zero down payment. That's almost impossible to buy a
Your
nice.
down payment for a 500K condominium.
Yeah, they got it for zero down payment because they were veterans. They served the country. You cannot say you love America and you don't do something about it. I went to my client, the seller, said, you know what, this is a nice couple. I checked the credit seems good. They have a good job. The lender, I work closely with them, verify everything. Seems like they're qualified for this home. Why don't we just accept them all the other, whether all cash or 50% down? Go with this. Sure enough, there was the escrow got closed and seller got the money they want, even more than what they were expecting. They were very happy. And this is what we said we do. We go out and beyond. They're not just serving our client, but serve the community, serve the deserving people.
I love that. Serve the deserving people. And you know what? What's really interesting about this is that you're not out there like desperately looking for people to buy the condominium. You're basically choosing from a lot of people. Like it's basically cherry picking. It's not about okay, anyone. I hope someone buys this, but okay, we need the best person to buy this. And I guess from how you sell it, you base it as well, and on the kind of people that they were, because you need to build a good community as well. You just don't want anyone with some cash to get it, but you wanted someone who's going to be helping out and building the community. I guess that's one of your strongest points. You care more than just closing the deal, but you also care about the community that you're building. And I'd like to ask as well. So I guess that's just one of the hundreds of stories that you've got to tell in terms of your success stories, given your experience. But 24 years in the business, I'm pretty sure you started off small. So how did you slowly scale up your business? Like probably you've been selling to like close family and friends, and now the California state like it gets just bigger and bigger. So can you tell us, how were you able to grow your business from one to whichever you are right now?
Yeah, I think if you would ask that question, Dwayne, the most important thing I have to tell my fellow agent and broker is one thing: our industry is broken, is dysfunctional. I mean, you can see somebody who can be very successful on the outside, but at the end of the year or when they get retired, they're broke. Some people say realtor are like lottery winner. Within a few years, all the money are gone. You need to be able to build a good, solid foundation. I put together 8 different foundations a real estate professional need to have. And there are 8 things that you're going to do. You don't have to have all 8 of them, but you need to have at least 4 important foundations. We got a home being built not too far from where I live. Beautiful, fancy home. People, every time we walk by, they have the best material with a nice roof, beautiful front door, some of the most expensive kitchen and things that we see that everybody will impress. Imagine if I were to build a home, I would say I would want this, I would want that, I would want this. But I wouldn't even know what kind of foundation to put on the ground. Nobody see the foundation. But here in California, you can have the most expensive material and the most beautiful home built. If the foundation wasn't properly put in, most realtor has 0 foundation. All they're after is the money. All they're after is the lead, the deal, the thrill of having the commission. They have no foundation. When something's shaking, when the market goes tough, when things get rough, they either lost their business, lose their car. Many people lost their marriages, and so many people lost everything. And I gone through 3 downturns, I know, and it breaks my heart. So I'm here in a way. I'm glad that I'm able to sit down with you, Dwayne, and with Spear Rocket, with your client, and with so many followers, to be able to start. If you haven't built foundation, it's not too late. Do something. In California, we have a thing called retrofitting. Some home were built a long time ago. It wasn't strong enough to withstand, let's say, 7-point earthquake. They had to redo the whole thing. It's very difficult, but it's better to do that than not. Because
it's worth it in the long term, yeah.
Yes.
Sorry for cutting off. And yeah, I guess that being said, foundations, investing in the long term, the quality of the properties that you're trying to sell is one of the main focal point that you have in growing your business. Because if you just keep selling low quality things, then I guess reviews about you would not be as good. And I guess referrals is one of the strongest points as becoming a real estate agent. So yeah, how were you able to grow that, circle or web of influence of getting referrals to continue your business?
Yeah, one thing about this industry is when there's a lots of garbage, lots of nonsense here. Everybody has their own agenda. Even we real estate agents have an agenda. Whenever we meet with the client, we try to steer them through the direction you want them to do. You want them to sign a contract. You want them to buy a home. You want them to stick with you so they can get paid. I mean, you talk about an organization, they try to make you sign up for membership. If you go to the gym, they want you to be able to be there every month, pay out for years and years later. They ever apply for some churches. Church want you to be a member so that you become a part of, for them to be a part of it. So what we're going to be careful is most of the important thing that we're going to do in this business is you don't hear it anywhere. I've been focusing on studying something which I teach the people, the agent and broker that I come in contact, and I teach it all over the places, is to build your business based on your strengths. Strength, STRENGTH. There are 8 letters in it. Every letter has a meaning to that. See, when you join a real estate company, they don't tell you, oh, you are so good at this, and you're so good at do this and do that. No. They try to tell you, no, I am the big boss. I'm the broker. We are good at this. You come to me, you benefit from it. So a lot of agents try to conform themselves based on the model. They try to make them obligated, and you can't even get out. That's their goal, is to lock you inside there as long as you want. So you need to have a base work on your strength, and just run by your strength. Is S stand for sociable, T stand for stamina, R stand for resourceful. I'll just run by this real quick. RE stand for enthusiasm. And then what's next? STRE. N is nurturing. Okay. And I have it somewhere here.
G. Next is G.
Okay. G, that's a generosity. Some of you are so generous with not just a lot of people think about money. You could be very generous with your effort, with helping people. Those could be generous. You take time out to help somebody. And I will come back to T stand for teachable. Some agents are just so stuck in their own way. They're so hard to change. They're not quick to adopt something. You need to be teachable. And then the last one will be honorable. I met a lady who was a police officer. He got injured and then retired. She got into real estate. And she didn't say anything about being a police officer. People would love to know that she was there to protect the community. People trust their life to her, and they should be able to trust her on this, on buying or selling real estate. And I told her that. So these are the 8 qualities that you can build your real estate business on. You don't have all 8. I believe everybody have at least 4 of them. You pick up the 4 that you are the strongest at and build your business that way. That way you are you'll be so easy to your business will be so much easier. You get a lot more productive.
Definitely. And I think nowadays, especially for agents that's been long in the business, being teachable is one of the complicated things because most people don't want to adapt to change. Times are changing. Definitely 20 years ago, how you market real estate is a lot different now. Because, one of the things that I'm impressed with you is because you're also utilizing, updated technology like AI, those kind of tools right now. So that being said, what is your mindset in terms of those changes? Is it like, how important is change to you? Because, you've been doing something for lots of years. So how do you transition from that?
Well, I tell you, I will just give you an example, which is painful. I got into Remax almost more than 20 years ago. And Remax at that time was the top brand. I mean, it's like we call ourselves real estate leader. We are on the cutting edge. A bunch of experienced agent back then, not anymore. Back then, and then there's one guy who was a very top agent, very experienced, know a lot of things. He had a home, could not sell. I went to him. Let's just call his name Tony. Okay, hey Tony, something I can tell you. If you will do this and that, then he had no clue what I was talking about. I said, Tony, maybe you should go to get some more training in this certain area. He was like, oh no, I don't need to. I know everything about real estate. Anyway, the thing got expired. And the seller came to me. I took on the listing. It wasn't easy to sell. I got it sold because it was difficult to sell. Not many offers came in. I got a very few buyers. When the buyer was able to get them to pay at the price, more than the price the seller was willing to take. Not only did I do double ending on the house, she was so impressed, introduced me to her parents who were very, very old in San Marino. And I saw that house also at a very difficult home to sell, but because of certain skill I have, I was able to double in on those 2 things. And I was a new agent back then. See, this compared to the old experienced agent.
I see. I guess it's good that you're having that kind of influence as well because, I guess AI makes jobs nowadays a lot easier. And, people don't trust it. And I would say AI is a double-edged sword. People can use it for not so good things, or it could be for good things. It depends on how you're going to use technology and everything else. And I would like to ask you as well. So, how about in terms of growing your team? I'm pretty sure you're not like a one-man show for the
Yeah,
duration of your real estate
yeah,
world. So, how
yeah.
do you choose your
The,
people?
the way my team is work out a little differently. My team are not your traditional way of looking at team. I happen to be so blessed to be with a company, with brokerage, that we can build a company not just within our company office. A traditional the old company I used to have, right? Our broker can only run business in the city. You cannot go beyond that. The next city they have now franchise office. For ours case, we are free to have somebody across town. We can have it all over the state of California. In fact, all over America. In fact, all over the world. We are getting to different countries. And I've been after my 20 some years of my business, now my passion is to pass on my knowledge. And I make a mistake too. I waste a lot of money, a lot of time as well. I try to teach people. And I always coming back to that. I always tell people to focus on your strength. Dwayne, can I share the experience with you? I think that will make a lot of sense to
Of
people.
course, sure.
Well, a week ago, we had July 4th, right? July 4th is like the day when everybody go out to see firework. We went to San Marino. It's a very expensive city in the park. Our client bought us ticket to join the beautiful firework. And when they got back, it's still early. There's still a lot of firework going on. I climb on top of my roof. See, we have a two-story home. The highest point is like 30, 40 feet high. I climbed on top of the thing and it's pretty dark. I was enjoying the firework all over. If you were to go there during sunset, you can see the sun going down on the west side. Everything is so calm, so peaceful. It's so cool on the hot summer night. Up there would be so cool, so peaceful. I just love to be on top of the roof. And so many times I see a little bird. We have a bunch of sparrow around here. For me to climb on the roof, I could not do that without having to move my ladder against the wall. And plus, climbing is more and more difficult for me. I would go on top of the first layer and then go on top of the second floor higher. It's a lot of work. I'm a smart guy, I think. I'm very well educated. As you can see, I'm a top 10 agent in California. But I'm nothing compared to one of the smallest creature. You know what that is? A sparrow. I admire the sparrow would be on the ground pecking on some birds and some grass seed. And he just flip, two wings, they're on top of the 30 feet high up on the roof, didn't do anything. You can buy a chicken for like about, I don't know, $5 at Costco, a whole chicken. That's like very good deal. A sparrow has no value. Even to take the sparrow, put in the pet shop and sell, you probably can't even get 10 cents for it. But that pet sparrow is so tiny, the wing is so small, and the leg, you probably can break it easily. But somehow they have the wing that is like, way more valuable than me. To fly high, he's an expert. He's a million times better than me. So even the sparrow is so small, he has some value, has some strength. The strength is in flying in his wing. In California, we have a thing called monarch butterfly. They fly through here like every springtime. You go from Mexico,
Huge
go all the way
butterflies, right? Yeah.
yeah, and that if you see a butterfly, their wings like make a powder and maybe some fiber or something. But that thing it looks so easy and blow off, you come apart. But it can fly across thousands of miles. And everybody, I don't care if you feel like you're a sparrow in your brokerage or you just started business, you have no knowledge, no nothing compared to the big fish or the big eagle. But you have something bigger, something great inside you. You just gonna know what it is. And the eighth thing that I'm gonna put an outline together, and we have a little booklet I share with fellow agent and broker is that you use your strength, focus on that, because your broker is not going to tell you that. The coaching company is not going to tell you that. If they tell you that, then you feel like you don't have to use that service anymore, or you don't stay with a certain company anymore. You are free to do things. So just focus on your strength and go from there.
That is really insightful, that there's always strength in everyone. You could be new at something, let's say real estate, like I guess but you have experience in other things that you could always put into it. Like the officer that you've told about, she was a retired officer, but she got the trust of the community to her advantage. Everyone has a niche that they can use, so it doesn't matter how far off other people are. And I love the fact that Watson, I guess your heart belongs to helping out other agents. It's not about like competition, like I need to sell more than everyone else. You're not just like that. I need to help and nurture basically everyone else to help the next generation of real estate agents, and that's definitely a beautiful thing and much needed in the market that we have right now. And in terms of growing your business and I guess evolving with the times involved, Have you ever had a virtual assistant? Because nowadays it's just people working in the office, it's just online, working thousands of miles away. So have you have any experiences having one, or have you heard of one?
Yes, I have been trying to. I was one of the first one to start using virtual assistant. To do a virtual assistant is a trick. It's very, very, it sounds simple, sounds easy, it's very, very difficult. I have to admit with you, Dwayne, I tried so many different company, different person. None of them seems to be working out. At the end, got frustrated. And I tried with Spear Rocket about a year, almost 2 years ago. And you have the system, you have the know-how. You don't just offer virtual assistant, do a whole lot more. Like I was mentioning to you about how if I would open a restaurant, my client come in, they walk away, not just have a nice meal, they have a plate to go with it. I Spear Rocket's kind of like that. You provide more than just a virtual system, which I appreciate.
It's like serving everything, at the best, fine china, everything you can talk about. And if I may ask, how was your experience with a virtual assistant having that?
Yeah. Well, the virtual assistant, the good thing about a virtual assistant, you are able to, you got to treat them like somebody who would be a part of your business. And you just gonna pour your heart and start working on stuff what you're good at. You just duplicate yourself, and at the same time, you don't have to worry about having somebody come into your space, so to speak. There's a space on the computer in your time, but not in your physical space. You don't have a desk for them. You don't need to have a computer. And with Spear Rocket, there's a lot of material, a lot of things that this virtual assistant can learn from it to help you to reduce your workload and be able to get more productive, free you up from things that are more important.
Definitely. I guess a lot of people would have trust issues with virtual assistants because normally, if you're hiring a virtual assistant for your business, you're going to be trusting someone who's working thousands of miles away from you, who probably you won't meet in person ever in your life. And pretty much that's one of the things that's holding back people. And I guess one of the positive things of having a virtual assistant is the cost. Like it's like quarter of a price to what you would have within, hiring someone locally. And I guess, those are the pros and cons. And that being said, if you may also share, what do you think are the biggest challenges for you in terms of having a virtual assistant, like to get the best one or perfect one for you?
Yeah. Well, the biggest, is it the biggest challenge or the biggest?
A challenge, yeah. Basically,
Yeah.
that's
The virtual assistant biggest challenge is that first of all, you got to really know work good on the computer. When the person here can take a piece of paper, write down, show them this and that, right? But with a virtual assistant, you got to convert it in a computer. You need to have a system. One thing I appreciate about Spear Rocket, you already put in some of the platform together, and that kind of like they make it a lot easier. Still a learning curve. Don't get me wrong, it's still a learning curve, and I appreciate the fact that you are able to duplicate that quicker, and plus you can scale the business with Spear Rocket. This is by far a realistic specific VA services that you guys offer, which I really, just talk to one of your guys and anybody interested, and they'll be able to scale much quicker.
Yeah, definitely. One of the Sphere Rocket services provide is that, we don't only train our virtual assistants, we also train business owners who wanted to have a virtual assistant because, it's a new process to learn. So we're here to guide both parties. So you would have a smooth transition and of course, providing you with, the best ones that's fit to your need, whether you need someone who do cold calls, or helping out with your social media, video editor, we pick you the best one. So you're basically just cherry picking, as you mentioned, the best kind of service, the best kind of restaurant, similar experience in terms of that. And going back to your business, Watson. So right now, 24 years in the business, it's quite a while, I would say. And I guess you're planning to do it for 10 years or maybe even more. So we've talked about doing this kind of profession for this long. It must be more than just money. So beyond the money, why do you do what you do as a real estate agent?
Well, I'll be honest with you. I wish I can say I'm doing this so that I can serve the community. I wish I can say I do that so that I could be benefit my client. I do that. I've sold a home. I'm consistently selling home for $100,000, $200,000 more. That's not a problem for me. But if I have to do this all over again, it will not be 25 years. Especially for the people who are watching this now, one thing lacking is that real estate industry, there's a lack of direction. People just follow somebody. We are pretty much restricted by the rules and bound by DRE and all those things. You to be effective person, real estate is a very gruesome job. It could, for some people, it's like they're working 25 hours a day. It's like nothing else. They might be going home. Their wife, their husband wouldn't even know who they are, and their kids missing them. It's a lot. We pay a dear heavy price. Lots of health issue, lots of problem with a family member. Lots of kids just did not know their parent. A lot of divorces. Those are terrible. If I had to advise myself again, real estate should be something you look into a 5-year term. You work on this business for 5 years, set up your foundation, like I mentioned earlier. Use your strength to build something. Make a goal to reach a certain point. I say make $1 million in 5 years. Then you can decide that it's something you're going to continue. It's like you go to college, right, Dwayne? We here in college, we have 4 years college. Most people, if you were to say enroll to Harvard, the best school, they say, how long you graduate? You say, we don't know, try maybe 3, maybe 5, maybe 20 years. I mean, people will freak out, right? But in real estate, there's no such thing. We sign contract with agent, buyer, or seller. There's a time expiration. But in real estate, it should be too. If you have 5-year plan, you'll be crystal clear what you need to build, what other thing you need to do. And then by the end of the 5 year, you should be able to walk away with $1 million. Well, I'm just talking in based on the living here to be able to walk away or start your retirement. At least some might be more. And then after 5 years, if you like, you can continue on. But the next 5 years of your business won't be the same old. You will have more like you have a system. You will have a team. You will have maybe somebody might end up having your own company or your own brokerage. And then if you had to stick on, if you love it so much, you might go on to the next 5 years. Then it'll be an entirely different system. You might have a big old structure under you. So just break it down into the 5-year plan. This is what I would advise all my people who are trying to succeed in this business.
Yeah, definitely foundation plays a pivotal role. And I guess that the reason why many agents tend to like give up within 1 year is that I guess they kind of compare real estate as they see in the movies, like selling homes like all over the place within 1 year, and they're gonna feel upset they didn't sell anything for like 3 months, 6 months. It happens. But as you mentioned, you need to look at it in a more different parts, like 5 years. You need to have plans for 5 years, and every 5 years, so you'll be able to set your expectations, and as you mentioned, build your foundations in those 5 years. And if you wanted to stay, you want to move on to a different career, at least you've had your foundation, you've learned things that you'll definitely use in whichever path you wanted to take next. So yes, I guess setting expectations and continuously learning. Always try for learning new things. After no matter how the times change, there's always something new to learn. No, you can't know everything, but at least the very thing that you can have is you will always have that kind of strength that you can specify. Like a small bird, like a sparrow, has the strength to like fly, as you mentioned. So yeah, I guess there's something in everyone, strength in everyone's. So I guess before we end this podcast, Watson, if I may ask more about your business. So I'm pretty sure people would be curious on, where they can see your listings, or what services can you provide, and what's the best way to contact you. Can you share more about that?
Oh, I would love to. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. When I start business, I know that I want to be specialized. Some people would be representing buyer and seller and do warehouse, do leasing, and then they sell a coffee shop, everything. If you want to be good at what you're doing, you specialize. For me, I choose to specialize in helping seller. The seller always want two things. They want to get more money. They want to get it sell so quickly. They don't want to be on the market, people coming in for the next 6 months. So I always get more money for your home and sell fast. So getmoresellfast.com would be my model. If you get your home so fast and you get more money, you would be a happy camper. And I registered at getmoresellfast.com. You get all the information about me, about my client, how they were able to be successful. I even wrote a book for seller, and I would be glad to give to anybody who would be interested.
Sellfast.com, correct? So
getmoresellfast.com.
I'll get more
Get
sellfast.
more money and sellfast, yeah.
Okay, that's a beautiful website. You're lucky to be able to secure that URL. No one else was able to get that before you. So yeah, that's really catchy. And your listings or your services are all found there, correct?
Pardon? Yeah, my listing normally, market has been very bad lately, right? I just got a home sold recently up in Arcadia. That was a challenging home to sell. We count people who come into the house. I'm big on open house. This is the best time to show the home, right? And I personally would be there to meet people, greet them, to answer questions for them. Guess what, Dwayne? Market was slow, as you know, earlier this year. I got 1,000 people came to the open house. The owner already moved out. It's all vacant. So they say, hey, open the door as big as possible. We have a robust marketing plan. We make a video. We go to all social media, different website, YouTube. Boom, 1,000 people came to those doors. And the home got sold for like $350,000 more. Sellers very, very happy. And just like my specialty, I'm specialized in representing seller, help them get more money and get it so quickly. It eliminated all the hassle, all the headache, all the stress.
Definitely fits your website's name. That's the kind. It's simple but it's what sellers actually wanted, more money and sell it fast. Okay, and I guess before we end this, Sir Watson, what do you think is your biggest advice, the best advice you can give to real estate professionals that's just getting started within the business so they could make it out?
Yeah, one of the most influential person in the last maybe 20 years ago is a gentleman by the name of Stephen Covey. Many of you have read the book called The 7 Habits of the Highly Effective People. Now, Dr. Covey mentioned something about, as a person to be successful, you need to have three sets of things. Number one would be, let's see, mindset. You hear about mindset. We go to a seminar, you change your mindset. Those are important. Second thing he mentioned would be skill set, right? Skill set. You need to learn skill. As a real estate agent, we do have to learn skill. And then the other one would be tool set. You need to have the proper tools, whether it be website, whether it be social media, whether it be a mailing system. Those are tool set. Those are good. But like I mentioned earlier, one thing that's missing is I'm the one after all the study. I met with some of the famous authors. I went to different seminars. Went to learn from some of the best of the best. One thing I realized, one thing missing is goal set. You need to have a goal. Like I said, if you want to go to college, 4-year plan, you need to be able to finish in 4 years and you need to get a degree. Most agents are going from one deal up to another, one commission after another, 1 year after another, and that's about it. You need to have a goal set in mind. And anybody who would like, I would be glad to sit down with you, help you plan a goal. Just make a 5-year goal. Okay, you might hit the goal. I say try to make $1 million. Some of you may make $500,000. That's okay. Then go for 5 more years or 2 more years to make up for it. If you have the proper goal set together, life will be so much easier. Your thing will be so much more balanced. At the same time, you have time for important things in life other than just real estate. So that's my one piece of advice I would like to pass on to the other agent and brokers.
It's quite simple, but not many people focus on that. They just go with the flow. They just do whatever they want, and they lose sight of why they're actually doing things, just their goal. So we need to solidify your goal to make sure that your journey is not just a journey to nowhere, but journey to the destination that you planned for your life for success. And that being said, Watson, it has been amazing, and I've definitely learned a lot. It's been a master class, not just in real estate, but I guess in life as well. You're teaching all of your knowledge. It definitely shows all of those awards that you had behind you. I guess you're well deserved being one of the top 10 realtors in California. It's been a pleasure and an honor to have you here in the Sphere Rocket Podcast Network. And before we end this, Mr. Watson, maybe you wanted to give a shout out to people you work with and anyone.
Yeah, I would say, first of all, I don't know how old you are. You look so young. You're so brilliant, and you probably know a lot of things I taught you already. I'm so glad to be able to sit down with you here, Dwayne. I want to give a shout out to my client. I came from a very poor background. We felt like growing up, we were like nobody even look at us. I'm able to have any client pick me as agent. In our town, there are like about 5,000 agents within 5-mile radius. 5,000. So I felt like I'm one of the 5,000. See, behind me, there's a little gavel that I was a student body president at the university in Arizona when I attended there. And they chose me out of over 10,000 students. Now, when somebody give me the trust to sign a contract to sell the most expensive piece of property or to buy a home, that's a lot of trust. And I just appreciate them. And they choose me. I said, thank you. I want to thank you for trusting you and your family and your money to me. Not only that, because of you, there's 24 years of you allow me to do so many practices. I make some mistake, I'm sure, but I accomplish a lot with you. As a result, Apple News, which is the most popular with iPad and iPhone and everything. That's where the news go about. They chose me as the top 10 agent in California. And because of you, I was able to receive the award on your behalf. And I want to thank you. I want to appreciate you. And I always check on my client. I try my best to be in touch with them. And like I say, after you eat a meal, you keep the plate. That's what I do. And I like give a shout out to all my clients all over the world. Thank you and love you. God bless you.
Definitely deserving, of all their awards, because, you're not about, because I did a good job, but, it's more because of the clients that you've had. If they're not there to, to give you all those projects, then you wouldn't be there as well. So that's the essence of becoming a successful person, not just a real estate agent, but, successful as a person in this world. So that is our episode for today at the Sphere Rocket Podcast Network. And hopefully you've learned a lot, just like me in today's episode. It's been a masterclass of everything. And hopefully we'll see you again in the next episode. So that is it. Signing off right now. And we'll see you again in the next episode. Goodbye, everyone.
Great. Thank you. Thank you.
Feeling overwhelmed by your business tasks? Well, it's time to step up your game. Visit www.sphererocketva.com and get a virtual assistant from us at Sphere Rocket VA. Streamline your business operations and focus on what really matters.